Hey guys, it's Alyshia and welcome back to my channel. I recently, on my Instagram, I asked the question, if you guys are struggling with anything at all, let me know and I'm going to address it in Tuesday's video. Not only did a lot of you guys send in questions, but a lot of your parents did too, which I love. So today, that is what we are doing. This is going to be a sit-down Q&A and I'm going to answer the hard but lovely questions that you guys have. Okay, so the number one question I received actually from both teens and parents was on confidence. How do you build confidence and where does confidence come from? And this is something that I understand really well because confidence was something that I actually struggled with and sometimes still do. But you know, I have really learned that when you prove to yourself that you can do something hard, when you can do hard things, something that you thought you would never be able to achieve, the next hard and the next scary thing doesn't look as bad, and you start to build confidence within yourself and you start to believe in your ability to be able to achieve hard things. Building confidence isn't easy. Please remember, it's not just about achieving the goal, getting to the end goal, but it's about who you become on the way there. Number two, another question that I received was on appearance. What do I do if I don't like how I look? What do I do if I don't like my appearance? And this is really hard because this is something that a lot of teens really do struggle with. But I really hope that you guys can look in the mirror and you can find 2, maybe 3 things, hopefully even more things about yourself that you just absolutely love. And if you can't, I hope you can find love and I hope you can find gratitude in the things that your body does for you. So for example, yesterday I walked my dog to the lake and back, and I'm really grateful for that. I know it's not something we usually think about, but my body did that for me. I was able to do that because my body allowed me to do so. But really, I really do hope that you can find 2, 3 things in the mirror today that you can build onto it. Things about yourself that you just think are absolutely beautiful and things about yourself that you just absolutely love. The next thing is mental health. Someone wrote in saying, I struggle with mental health. I feel like no one understands me and no one understands the situation that I'm in. And that is something that I really want to talk more about on my channel because I feel like mental health is a conversation that really needs to be had. But it's also a hard conversation to have simply because I want to make sure that I'm addressing it appropriately at all times. But I really hope you guys do have somebody in your life that you can turn to and talk to about absolutely anything that you are struggling with. I hope you know that you aren't alone and that there are people out there that you can turn to and use them as a resource and as a guide for getting the help that you need. The other thing is, I still do, anxiety is a really big part of my life, and there are a few healthy at-home things that I have done to make my anxiety better. And for me, that is, I eat cleaner, I drink more water, I sleep a lot better. I have learned that when I am taking care of myself physically, I do a lot better both mentally and emotionally as well. And I just want to finish this by saying, please know that you are not alone and there are people out there who can help you through the situations that you are going through. The next one. This one says, I struggle with identity. I want to know who I am right now and how I want my future to be. I get it. I think there's a mixed message out there. There's this one message that says, life is really, really short. Everything you want in life, you should go for it right now in this moment. Go after 1,000%, which is such a good message. But then there's also another message that says things are going to take as long as they're going to take. Everything is in God's timing. Everything is in the timing of the universe. You can't rush things. And I really believe it's a mix of the 2 messages, right? But it is hard and it is confusing to figure out, and it's hard for adults, and I think that's why so many teens today struggle with it as well. This is something that I know I relate to all of them. I relate to this because I mentioned earlier on my channel, one thing I'm working to accomplish, one thing I want out of my career is to become an author. And in order for me to get there, one of the things I had to do was get an agent. And in order to get an agent, I had to go through rejection after rejection after rejection times 400 more, right? But I'm really thankful that I did. I realized that if I would have gotten my agent on the first try, I would not be the same person that I am today. And I'm thankful that it took as long as it did, because these challenges that I'm facing now, working to become published, I would never be able to face these if I didn't learn the lessons that I did when working to get my agent. I hope that makes sense. It's going to take time, but you should really trust the journey that you're on and be proud of yourself for how hard that you are working. Someone wrote, I struggle with boundaries and I struggle with people trying to control my emotions. No matter how old you are, whether you're a kid, you're a teen, you're an adult, you gotta set your comfort zone and you gotta set your boundaries, and nobody should be crossing those. And if somebody is, you gotta say no. You gotta say, hey, like, I am not comfortable. I don't like it when you do this. I think a lot of times as kids we think, oh, well, I can't tell them that. I can't say anything. I have to be respectful. I have to be nice because they're older than me. No, if they are older than you, they should know better, and they shouldn't be doing anything that you don't want to. One thing the adults wanted me to address was temptation and peer pressure. And there are a lot of temptations out there, and there is a lot of peer pressure out there as well, especially when it comes to sex, drugs, and alcohol. And I think the best way to fight against that is to surround yourself with people who have your best interest in mind. And if you ever get yourself into a situation that you need to get yourself out of, if again you're not comfortable with something, you need to have an adult, you need to have someone who can come pick you up and get you out of that situation. And that is not a kid thing, that is not a teenage thing, that is for everybody. As an adult, I would rather I would rather have a family member be mad at me for waking them up at midnight than have them be mad at me for me doing something that I shouldn't be doing. And the last one is internet safety. This is something that the adults once again asked me to talk about on my channel, because being safe on the internet is super important, and I totally agree with that. So my 4 tips for being safe on the internet are: you need to make sure your passwords are secure. Don't talk to people that you don't know. Don't give out your personal information. And if anything seems off at all, you have to be able to say something. Alright guys, I would like to thank you so much for watching. This was my first ever Q&A. Those questions were hard, but they were lovely, and I just really hope that they help you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments and then again in my next video. Until then, peace out.